1. Introduction. RAWSEP View. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only. For home building and furniture building. For just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable. Wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree, but it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lungs, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM 2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom, the eco-design wood stove, and international convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP View. Purple air. PM 2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM 2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM 2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.
Hi, my name is Lily. Andrew gave you the intro to residents against wood smoke emission particulates and their concern for air pollution from indoor residential wood burning. Residents against wood smoke emission particulates, or RAWSEP, would like every near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner whose wood smoke enters their yards and sickens the near neighbors to have a purple air PM 2.5 monitor hanging from the eaves of their home to measure the level of PM 2.5 entering their yards. That measurement of air pollution should be used as evidence of unnecessary air pollution, and each indoor residential wood burner should be shut down based on that evidence, one indoor residential wood burner at a time if necessary. The presentation by Andrew ended at 2 minutes 5 seconds. The same presentation by Emma starts at 2 minutes 3 seconds before the end of this podcast. So I am Lily, your timekeeper, and you can start the next podcast at 2 minutes 5 seconds in if you would not like to see the presentation by Andrew a second time. This presentation by me, Lily, ends at 5 minutes in. What you will see in the main content of this RAWSEP podcast will be news about air pollution from indoor residential wood burning and how that air pollution is being combated by ordinary people just like you who are unfortunately near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners at this time. There will also be news about unnecessary and highly polluting use of wood as fuel in industrial wood burners and preventable air pollution from wood burning wildfires. There will also be news about air pollution from PM 2.5 from gas-powered cars. There will also be news about airborne diseases which are also preventable with vaccines such as COVID-19 and measles and whooping cough, to name just a few. In 2025, residents against wood smoke emission particulates is also concerned with combating the Trump destruction of government funding for programs which protect human health through the Department of Health and Human Services, and Trump destruction of programs which fund the science and medical research plan to protect human health from preventable illnesses. Protecting human health is a patriotic act, and our defense against enemies is weakened if we are not as healthy as we can be. Heat pump rebates are now offered by the federal government, distributed through the eligible United States, are available in 2025 and are the best, cleanest, and now cheapest alternative to indoor residential wood burning if that burning is actually done to purportedly save money. Wind and solar as sources of the electricity that powers heat pumps and electric cars is also cheaper than burning wood. The adverse health effects that are caused by indoor residential wood burning also come at a cost to near neighbors, both in shortening and ending their lives and in actual hospital, clinic, and funeral costs. Instead of being compensated monetarily, near neighbors should instead be able to achieve immediate relief by stopping indoor residential wood burning in their hyper-localized neighborhoods, which relief readings from purple air PM 2.5 monitors used as evidence of air pollution will help them achieve. Welcome to news about hopeful scientific and medical achievements that will also help us achieve the goal of clean air to breathe.
Webisode 57DHYAFW December 30th, 2025 Realtor says chimney concerns are not just harmless smoke. In Webisode 57DHYAFW, A Realtor says chimney concerns are not just harmless smoke. RAWSEP View. The smoke referred to by the Realtor in this article is not real PM 2.5 particulate emissions from wood burning that threaten human health and shorten human lives. The smoke referred to by this Realtor is the smoke and mirror sales tactics of realtors who downplay the monetary costs of knocking off a chimney and sealing it. 250 states, 50 fixes. The first of 6 chosen here by the editor of RAWSEP is tree planting, and the last is houses built for electrification, hopefully with clean energy from wind and solar, and not RAWSEP hopes, not wood burning rather than natural gas. 3 President Zelensky of Ukraine talked to Trump in Florida. 4 Google alerts. G1 World, G2 United States, G3 Arizona, G4 Florida, G5 Georgia, G6 Hawaii, G7 Minnesota, G8 New Mexico, G9 Oregon, G10 Tennessee, G11 Washington State, G12 Canada, G13 Australia, G14 United Kingdom, G15 India, G16 Thailand. Main content. 1. A Realtor says chimney concerns are not just harmless smoke. RAWSEP View. The smoke referred to by the Realtor in this article is not real PM 2.5 particulate emissions from wood burning that threaten human health and shorten human lives. The lies that concern residents against wood smoke emission particulates are primarily the lives of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners whose wood smoke is directed by venting through chimneys or wood stove exhausts to near neighbors and enters the yards and infiltrates the homes of near neighbors. The smoke referred to by this Realtor is the smoke and mirror sales tactics of realtors who downplay the monetary cost of knocking off a chimney and sealing it. The editor of RAWSEP has first-hand experience from dealing with a fireplace that came attached to a low-priced home. By the mantle is decorative, but the fireplace still takes the place of a load-bearing wall and cannot be easily or cost-effectively knocked out. So for the past 20 years, the editor of RAWSEP dealt with the white elephant fireplace in several ways, knocking the chimney off the roof area and sealing it, and replacing the formerly shingled roof with a metal roof, which the editor of RAWSEP highly recommends. Stopping up the entrance to the fireplace with insulation boards to retain heat, and finally putting a bookcase in front of the fireplace entrance. When the editor of RAWSEP was in college, she rented a room in an older building with what was billed as no longer a working fireplace, but the chimney was still open to wildlife. The first night, when the editor of RAWSEP was sleeping and had not yet moved a lamp into the room, some animal came down the chimney and was trapped and fluttering all night behind a grate. At dawn, the editor of RAWSEP armed herself with a rolled newspaper and ventured to open the door to the room and the door to the entry to the older house. And then she opened the grate. Was it a raccoon? No, it was just a poor sparrow which furiously circled the room, bumping into the walls of the room before being shooed out. A fellow room renter was drinking coffee on the porch and was startled to see a wild bird flying past him to freedom. The third experience the editor of RAWSEP had was in another college rental with a fireplace mantle of a fireplace that had a fully sealed off chimney, impervious to wildlife. Parties were enlivened by leaning against the mantelpiece and trying to one-up each other in knowledge of plots of Sherlock Holmes stories. Note that fireplaces remind people of the past, and those reminders of the past are inevitably more rosy than current events or even the actual experience of dealing with a real wood-burning fireplace. A rude awakening when actually burning wood in a fire ensues for the naive. Threatening the health of your family and shortening their lives is not worth adding the ugly in reality. Wood burning to a perfectly lovely mantelpiece. Put some knickknacks or treasured photographs on your decorative mantelpiece without fear that they will melt or be burned down with a likely house fire from wood burning. Warm yourself with a heat pump that provides even heat at a lower cost than burning wood, and that is completely toxic emission free. No, you are helping to slow climate change instead of hastening climate change by burning wood for home heating or home cooking. From the article headline, A Realtor says chimney concerns are not just harmless smoke. Standard Examiner. I linger over the memory of a past fireplace, a 1970 built wood burning practicality existing in a less than modest house. There was no mantle to this fireplace. AI overview. Realtor JF says chimney concerns are not just harmless smoke. JF, an associate broker and realtor, emphasizes the importance of chimney maintenance and safety. She points out that while chimneys are often seen as decorative features, they can pose significant risks if not properly maintained. Fireplaces in particular are considered high-risk features due to their potential for fire hazards and long-term water damage. JF advises that homeowners should ensure their chimneys are structurally sound, sealed if used, and capped properly to avoid potential insurance issues. A chimney, if neglected, it can lead to uncertainty and hesitation for potential buyers. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. By Realtor JF. Special to the Standard Examiner, December 25, 2025. JF states that chimney concerns are not just harmless smoke. RAWSEP interjects here that Realtor JF does not mention the air-polluting emissions of wood burning, which are costly to human health. Realtor JF only mentions monetary costs that are costly to remediate. In the eyes of realtors. Back to the article excerpt. JF states that I linger over the memory of a past fireplace, a 1970 built wood burning practicality existing in a less than modest house. There was no mantle to dress up or distract. After all, it existed for the purpose of warmth, and only when wood to burn was available. The surface of this wide-mouthed pit was permanently modeled, as was the once white brick that surrounded it. Years of overambitious fires that burned unattended or too hot left a permanent scar. I fast forward years later, long after I had left the house, to the moment my mother attempted to erase those scars with copious amounts of white shoe polish, all in the name of getting the place ready to sell. Not a tip I share with my own clients. In my childhood home, the chimney during the summer was used for the sole purpose of inviting every critter imaginable into our home. This was due to a consistent oversight on who was or was not to close the damper, as well as the lack of a proper cap on the top of the chimney. Outside of the magical wonderland of Santa Mystics, chimneys play a much bigger role than just seasonal folklore. They sit at the crossroads of insurance, home inspections, and real estate transactions. Even if Santa was the one who caused the brick to crumble, it is still the problem of the homeowner when something goes wrong. From the perspective of Santa, chimney simply needs to exist and not be on Fire at the time of entry. Insurance companies take a more thorough approach. Chimneys are one of the most closely watched features of a home because they combine several things insurers dislike: fire, heat, structural penetration through the roof, and the potential for long-term water damage. A wood-burning fireplace, while cozy and charming, is statistically one of the higher-risk features a home can have. Fireplaces are a favorite in listing descriptions, romanticized as cozy. Then the inspections begin, and that same fireplace, once the star of the show clears its throat and starts confessing decades of questionable decisions, quickly repositioning itself as the most inconvenient feature for the seller. Phrases like cracked flue liner, missing chimney cap, deteriorating mortar, improper clearance, or evidence of prior chimney fire can cause sellers some serious heartburn. Suddenly deals are put on hold as everyone waits on quotes that are sure to come in higher than hoped. Buyers almost always ask for repair credit. This is the part where real estate and insurance usually clash, since you cannot close without insurance for homeowners, and insurers usually flag chimney dangers as uninsurable. Something must give: either the repair must be done before closing or the deal falls apart. Of course, the buyer can shop around for new insurance carriers. However, they are all pretty much playing by the same rules insurance underwriters do. Not like vintage chimneys, even if Norman Rockwell does. Trust me, I have seen it, but the fireplace is strictly decorative, you say. Unfortunately, this is more of an interpretation, and both inspectors and insurers are more objective type people. If a chimney exists and is not fully decommissioned, it is often still considered a risk. This means it needs to be properly capped, sealed. If in used and structurally sound, nothing should be scratching, chirping, fluttering, scurrying, or otherwise announcing itself from inside a chimney. A chimney is designed to vent smoke. RAWSEP interjects, and this wood-burning smoke is vented to the yards of near neighbors and infiltrates the homes of near neighbors. Back to the article excerpt. Conclusion: not host wildlife. From a resale standpoint, a well-maintained chimney can be a genuine asset, but neglected chimneys tend to do the opposite. They introduce uncertainty, cost, and hesitation, all things buyers do not love when they are already making the biggest purchase of their lives. And for the record, white shoe polish fades fast. 250 states, 50 fixes. The first of 6 chosen here by the editor of RAWSEP is tree planting, and the last is houses built for electrification, hopefully with clean energy from wind and solar, and not RAWSEP hopes, not wood burning rather than natural gas. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. The New York Times, December 29, 2025. 1 Virginia, Fredericksburg. RAWSEP View: planting a tree in place of a tree that is burned for energy, be it industrial wood burning or indoor residential wood burning, does not erase the air pollution caused by burning of the cut down tree. Trees sequester some carbon from CO2 from wood burning, but trees do not sequester carbon from PM 2.5 from wood burning. In the face of nearby indoor residential wood burning emissions of PM 2.5, living trees close their pores against the PM 2.5, just as humans hold their breath in the face of PM 2.5 from wood burning. When trees close their pores, they sequester less carbon from CO2 from nearby wood burning. It is a losing environmental proposition to cut down trees for burning and merely replace them with more trees and expect a positive result from the article headline. Virginia, Fredericksburg: planting an urban forest. The New York Times, December 29, 2025. Tree Fredericksburg is an organization of citizen volunteers dedicated to the restoration of the urban forest in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Since 2008, we have planted over 10,000 trees along the street, in the parks, and in the schoolyard. We have also given away over 60,000 native trees and shrubs to the general public. Last fall, an inventory of the trees in the city was conducted, and it showed that Tree Fredericksburg is responsible for 47% of the trees now growing in the city. In the public right-of-way, volunteers have come from all walks of life, including scouts, students from the local schools and university, churches, civic associations, and even from as far away as Northern Virginia. We have had students from George Mason University and the local mosque in Manassas, Virginia. We believe trees to be the answer for many problems in our city: the heat island effect, stormwater management, walkable city streets, and just plain beauty. There was no city arborist from 2008 to 2023, and so Tree Fredericksburg was the de facto arborist for our city. We have had a strong partnership with the city of Fredericksburg and great support from our political leaders. We have been a tree city for 37 years. To North Carolina. In North Carolina, we are UNC students who created the nonprofit Solar Equity to bring affordable renewable energy to low up to moderate income communities in the Southeast. It is difficult to implement renewable energy in affordable ways due to regulations and utility constraints, so we decided to be the intermediary between communities, affordable housing organizations, and financial entities to bring solar and energy efficiency to places often left out of the energy transition while decreasing carbon emissions. 3. North Carolina, Appalachian State, is now requiring all undergraduates to take at least one class in the sustainability and climate literacy arena as a general education requirement. I teach the Walker College of Business version of the class. I really want my opening line to be in the New York Times: laughing out loud, LOL. This class is not to discuss whether we think climate change is real or not, or who is to blame. That is a waste of oxygen. This class charge is to come up with better business processes to not treat the earth like badly. For California, Oakland and Oakland, California, volunteers are busy reducing the risk of fire while restoring the open spaces. Parts of the hills here are classified as a high fire hazard zone where the forests are packed with overgrown underbrush and deadwood, but these open spaces are also beloved green oases in this highly urban city, used by thousands of bikers, hikers, and picnickers. They need care, but the city does not have the capacity to properly maintain them. A nonprofit called Friends of Sawzell Creek musters up scores of volunteers every weekend to steward multiple locations in the parks, removing invasive plants and shrubs, planting native plants, reducing the fire risks, and maintaining Sawzell Creek, where a small population of wild trout lives. 5 New Hampshire, Monadnock. I write a vegan recipe and educational column called Recipe for a Healthy Planet for our local newspaper, the Monadnock Ledger. Transcript. I worked on a web portal of the same name for our local environmental education center, the Harris Center. We are educating people about how food choices affect the environment. 6 New Mexico, RAWSEP View. I hope natural gas is not being replaced by indoor residential wood burning on these lots in New Mexico. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as natural gas burning. Hopefully, these houses being built with truly clean energy sources installed by this home builder, including solar panels on all roofs and wind farms nearby, and electricity connected to all rural areas to power heat pumps that in 2025 work down to 40 degrees below zero, and double as air conditioners. Back to the article excerpt. In terms of decarbonizing buildings, everybody despairs about getting American builders, HVAC contractors, and homeowners to accept electrification. There are so many people to persuade. A big New Mexico developer has figured it out. He does not put gas infrastructure into his new developments in the city of Las Cruces, which saves him millions of dollars in unnecessary infrastructure. Just like that, a development is on the path to being 100% decarbonized. He is in the middle of a 6,000-lot housing project now, with homes selling out quickly. He cannot figure out why more developers are not doing it. The developer John Moscato said not adding gas lines to developments saved him $3,000 per lot. Free President Zelensky of Ukraine talked to Trump in Florida. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. A 501c3 nonprofit organization. Substack. Letters from an American. Heather Cox Richardson, December 30th, 2025. Saturday morning, the day before Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky was scheduled to meet with Trump for talks on ending the Russian war against Ukraine. Russia launched a massive attack on the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. The missile and drone strikes damaged more than 10 residential buildings, killed at least one person who burned to death, and wounded 27 more, including 2 children. When Zelensky arrived in Miami for his trip to Mar-a-Lago, there were no U.S. officials on hand to greet the plane. This was a deliberate snub, especially when compared to the literal red carpet Trump had U.S. military personnel roll out for Putin when he arrived on U.S. soil in August, followed by Trump greeting him while clapping. A military flyover and a ride with Trump in the presidential limousine. The Trump preference for Putin was evident yesterday too, when he posted on social media, "I just had a good and very productive telephone call with President Putin of Russia prior to my meeting at 1 p.m. today with President Zelensky of Ukraine." He later told reporters that he and Putin talked for more than 2 hours at the meeting itself. Trump later told reporters, "We have made a lot of progress on ending that war. There is no sign that Putin is backing off from his extreme demands, including that Ukraine must give Russia much of its eastern territory." The Trump negotiators suggest that such a concession would satisfy Putin, but skeptics doubt it, as White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles told Chris Whipple in August in an interview for Vanity Fair. "The experts think that if he could get the rest of Donetsk, then he would be happy," but she said Donald Trump thinks he wants the whole country. The Russian second invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 has lasted almost 4 years, and as Russian troops have routinely attacked civilian areas and civilian infrastructure, the damage to the country has been extreme. After meeting with Zelensky, Trump answered a reporter who asked whether Trump had spoken to Putin about the reconstruction of Ukraine. President Putin was very generous in his feeling toward Ukraine succeeding, including supplying energy, electricity, and other things at very low prices. Quite literally, Russia invaded Ukraine and continues to smash it, as former Representative Adam Kinzinger, Republican of Illinois, posted on social media. With all this talk of how to end the Russia war against Ukraine and a ceasefire, keep this in mind. If Ukraine ceases firing, Ukraine will cease to exist. If Russia ceases firing, the war will cease to exist. In his comments to reporters, one passage perhaps shed more light on events than Trump intended, defending the idea that Putin, who is bombing Ukraine in an unprovoked assault, wants peace. Trump said, "I saw a very interesting President Putin today. Do not forget we went through the Russia hoax together. They made it all up, and despite that we did not get into wars, but we were not able to trade very much, which was a shame, because a lot of success could have been had by trading with Russia. They have great land, great minerals, and we have things that they want very badly. But the Russia hoax, which was a terrible made-up fictional thing by Crooked Hillary and by Adam Shifty Schiff, they made it up. It was all a made-up hoax." But of course, the idea that Russian operatives worked to put Trump into the White House in 2016 was not a hoax. The Senate Intelligence Committee, chaired by a Republican, unanimously concluded that the Russian government engaged in an aggressive, multifaceted effort to influence the outcome of the 2016 presidential election. Further, the close relationship of Paul Manafort, the Trump campaign chair, with Russia-aligned oligarchs in Ukraine meant that his proximity to Trump created opportunities for Russian intelligence services to exert influence over and acquire confidential information on the Trump campaign. Taken as a whole, the Manafort high-level access and willingness to share information with individuals closely affiliated with the Russian intelligence services represented a grave counterintelligence threat. In 2016, Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton would not consider lifting the sanctions placed on Russia after its 2014 invasion of the Ukraine. Crimea. Although Republicans at the time supported those sanctions, it was not clear that Trump was as firm. Lifting sanctions was part of the story of Russian support for Trump. In 2016, the Senate committee and special counsel Robert Mueller put more of the story together, explaining that in summer 2016, Manafort and Russian operatives discussed a plan to resolve the ongoing political problems in Ukraine by creating an autonomous republic in its more industrialized eastern region of Donbass and having Russian-backed Viktor Yanukovych, the Ukrainian president ousted in 2014, elected to head that republic. The Mueller report continued that plan Manafort later acknowledged constituted a backdoor means for Russia to control eastern Ukraine. All that is required to start the process is a very minor wink or slight push from Trump, saying he wants peace in Ukraine and Donbass back in Ukraine, and a decision to be a special representative and manage this process, wrote a Russian operative. According to the Senate Intelligence Committee, the men continued to work on what they called the Mariupol plan at least until 2018. Trump has continued to pressure Zelensky into accepting that plan, so far without success. But the Trump statement to reporters also suggests that with the Russian economy crumbling under the weight of 4 years of war, Putin is desperate to grab the Ukraine industrial regions and get rid of the sanctions under which his country has staggered since 2014, and especially since his second invasion of Ukraine in 2022. In late November, Russia began to sell its gold reserves in order to fund its budget. Trump told reporters he had had another very good talk with Putin this morning after his Sunday meeting with Zelensky, whether because of the Trump or Putin weakening position or both. Trump and Putin appear to be eager to close the deal. Google alerts. G1 World carbon dioxide heat pumps could replace gas and coal boilers in industrial applications. The Global Energy Association, unlike boilers, which generate heat by burning fuel, a heat pump does not produce heat directly, but transfers it from a low temperature level to a G2 United States you'll log cozy crackling fireplace. YouTube RAWSEP View look at a fire, hear a fire crackle. If you must, do not inhale it. From the article headline Real Fireplace Burning you'll log 1 hour of relaxing sounds of wood crackling burning logs 4K HDR Wonder World Web 10,000 views. 1 hour video go to channel United States effects of PM 2.5 and particle constituents on overall cardiovascular and respiratory nature. Previous studies demonstrated the association of particulate matter with an aerodynamic diameter of less than or equal to 2.5 micrometer PM 2.5 with mortality. United States, a 15-ton rooftop heat pump is coming for your fossil fuels. Clean Technica and new scaled-up energy-efficient rooftop heat pumps will hit the U.S. market within the next 2 years, cutting costs and emissions to United States. RAWSEP View prove it losing U.S. federal subsidies will add thousands to your heat pump initial and installation bill. But is this article talking about that? Some states are coming up with their own heat pump subsidies which continue into 2026. From the article headline The Hidden Costs of Heat Pumps That Could Add Thousands to Your Bill. MSN, there is a renewed drive for environmentally friendly heating options with heat pumps poised to replace gas boilers in the future. However, their United States homeowner faces immediate criticism after ragging on extremely popular HVAC upgrade. The cool down one homeowner was frustrated when their heat pump was seemingly unable to keep up with their heating demands. United States House Hunter breaks down next-gen HVAC technology that has experts raving they slash. The cool down one House Hunter discovered the magic of heat pumps during her search and explained what makes this all-in-one heating and cooling technology. So United States, is your water heater on its last legs? An ultra-efficient replacement can slash your annual cost. MSN tax credit and a rebate for installing a heat pump water heater. The U.S. Department of Energy says United States new study makes unexpected finding on strategy to reduce strain on the electric grid. The cool down new research revealed that homes with heat pumps reduce grid pressure even more than initially thought. United States U.S. heat pump incentives are ending. Here is how much prices could rise / gear. The American government heat pump purchase incentive ends in a few days, meaning that heating your home could become a lot more expensive. United States U.S. heat pump incentives are ending and prices could spike. MSN federal support that has kept heat pump prices in check is about to vanish just as households face rising energy costs and more extreme weather. As key tax credits and rebates expire after 2025, the upfront cost of efficient electric systems is likely to jump and the window to lock in prices today. United States Web Earth coupled heat pump ScienceDirect.com. The heat pump is located in a calorimeter house, which was constructed to simulate a 1100 sq foot dwelling, which has a sensible heat loss of 11,700 BTU. G3 Arizona Phoenix RAWSEP View. Please do not burn wood at all. Please do not use a certified wood stove, which still emits 450 times the PM 2.5 particulate pollution as a natural gas furnace. From the article headline Learn more about the Burn Cleaner Burn Better campaign. 12news.com has tips to improve the air we breathe by using wood-burning alternatives during no-burn days. What are considered wood-burning alternatives in Phoenix, Arizona? AI overview. The Burn Cleaner Burn Better campaign encourages residents in Maricopa County to reduce air pollution by opting for cleaner burning alternatives instead of burning wood. This initiative aims to improve air quality and protect public health by addressing the health risks associated with wood smoke, which can exacerbate respiratory conditions and other health issues. The campaign promotes the use of natural gas, electric fireplaces, and certified wood stoves as safer options for heating and cooking. For more information, you can visit the Maricopa County Air Quality Department website. Arizona Phoenix is among worst in U.S. for pollution at the eve and at the day of the new year. Air Quality Department says you can help. KJZZ wood in your fireplace or outdoor fire pit. Halpert said smoke from wood burning and fireworks can be harmful to everyone. Tiny particulates get into your lungs. Arizona Maricopa County PM 2.5 high pollution advisory issued for Thursday, December 25th, 2025. Maricopa County particulate matter PM 2.5 in Maricopa County. This HPA is due to PM 10 refers to dust particles 10 microns or less and PM 2.5 to soot particles. Arizona Pima County warns of health risks from smoke during festivities. KFOA.com smoke inhalation. This rising concern highlights the potential health risks associated with smoke from wood fires and fireworks, according to a G4 Florida Daytona new 2025 to 2026 energy rebates. Squeak Services explains how to qualify. Daytona Beach News Journal. Heat pump water heaters $1,750, heat pumps cold climate $8,000, heat pump space heating and cooling $3,000, electric stove cooktop range. Or G5 Georgia big rebates available to Georgia residents for home energy improvements. Southern Alliance for clean energy heat pump water heater up to $1,750 rebate. Heat pump for heating cooling up to $8,000 rebate. Electric stove cooktop range oven up to $840 rebate. Georgia Emory University exposure to fine particulate matter components and incident depression. JAMA Network. Findings in this cohort study of 23,696,223 older adults long-term exposure to PM 2.5 components mainly due to sulfate, elemental carbon, and soil. Georgia Emory University long-term exposure to particulate matter components like PM 2.5 can raise depression risk. NDTV long-term exposure to specific particulate matter components such as PM 2. G6 Hawaii rebates on efficient appliances available to HECO customers. Hawaii Public Radio water heaters are another costly appliance. Hawaii Energy has a $750 rebate available for a heat pump water heater and a $2,000 rebate for a solar. G7 Minnesota Fireplaces of Minnesota, a roundup of the Minnesota remaining public hearths. RAWSEP View. Idiots Corner. The editor of RAWSEP is not directing idiots to wood-burning places in order to shorten their lives. The editor is RAWSEP is advising all people to avoid shortening their lives. Places to avoid unless you want the memory of the times you exposed your family for no reason to air pollution toxins. From the article NPR News. There are two wood-burning fireplaces at Brits Pub in Minneapolis, the Minnesota Public Hearths particularly. Wood-burning fireplaces are a cherished tradition that has been lost to the modern era. These fireplaces, once common in public spaces, are now a rare treat. Here are some of the remaining public hearths in Minnesota. W.A. Frost and Company, located in St. Paul. This establishment frequently has roaring fires, especially when temperatures dip below 40 degrees. The fireplaces were added to the 1800s building in the 1970s by the owner. Brits Pub in Minneapolis. This pub features two wood-burning fireplaces that are popular for their ambience and the relaxing experience of watching the fire. Grand Portage National Monument Heritage Center, a 27-foot-tall wood-burning fireplace lit Fridays and Saturdays during the winter season, constructed from sedimentary rocks of the Rove Formation. Northern Pines Lodge in Park Rapids. This lodge has a fieldstone fireplace in a common area with rocking chairs and couches, providing a cozy spot. G8 New Mexico RAWSEP View, Idiot Corner, or idiots who profit from wood burning and so do not care if it threatens human health and shortens human lives. Maintaining profitability of firewood and cigarettes is far from a noble aim. From the article headline, Northern New Mexico firewood vendors say the hard work is still profitable. Local news, Santa Fe, New Mexico. The aroma of wood smoke clings to the air of Northern New Mexico during the winter months, as Valencia and the many other purveyors in the region of AI overview. Firewood vendors in Northern New Mexico have reported that despite the challenges posed by the current economic climate, they are still able to maintain profitability. The vendors have adapted to the changing market conditions and continue to offer their products to the local community. They have also been working on improving their business practices to ensure they remain competitive in the market. G9 Oregon fireplace causes attic fire in Albert Lea. According to fire department call, TV crews responded at around 8:08 p.m. and found smoke coming from a two-story home. The fire department says the cause of the fire was a wood-burning fireplace. G10 Tennessee Carrier advances next-generation rooftop heat pump technology with commercial field trials. Yahoo Finance. Across independent testing conducted by the Department of Energy, DOE, Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and National Renewable Energy Laboratory, NREL, the Carrier rooftop heat pump systems have met or exceeded G11 Washington State. Many fireplace lovers assume burning wood for warmth is friendly to the climate, but that could not be more wrong. Facebook. Many fireplace lovers assume burning wood for warmth is friendly to the climate, but wood emits 2.5 times as much carbon dioxide than natural gas and 30% RAWSEP View. This article does not mention the other air pollutant emitted by wood burning, which is PM 2.5. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as natural gas burning. Wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM 2.5 as the fossil fuel. Coal burning. PM 2.5 is the perfect size to infiltrate the human lungs, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Wood burning PM 2.5 also contributes to hastening climate change, as does carbon dioxide emitted by wood burning. AI overview. The Washington Post article highlights that while many fireplace lovers believe burning wood for warmth is climate friendly, it is actually 2.5 times as much carbon dioxide than natural gas and 30% more than coal when burned for heat. This misconception is based on the physics of combustion, which does not account for the actual emissions produced. The article emphasizes the need to improve what we burn and where we source it to make a more significant impact on the environment. Washington State Fire and Rescue calls crashes smoke investigations among recent responses. Philomath News. The crew arrived and observed smoke in the area from wood fireplaces. Washington State Whatcom County issues Stage 1 burn ban, where it is in effect, and what it means. Bellingham Herald. Wood smoke from clearing. All outdoor burning is prohibited, including in areas where outdoor burning is usually allowed. Washington State Air Quality burn ban issued for Kendall area. Whatcom News. Wood smoke from clearing out. Northwest Clean Air Agency, NWCA, said effective immediately no indoor or outdoor wood burning is allowed in the Columbia Valley urban growth. G12 Canada. Nova Scotia Bridgewater. If you want a rebate on a heat pump, time is running out. CKBW purchase and installation of a cold climate air source heat pump, electrical and mechanical upgrades, oil tank removal, backup heating setup. United States and Canada. North America commercial heat pump water heater market report, market data forecast, utility rebates, tax incentives, and green building certifications supporting heat pump adoption in commercial construction and retrofits. G13 Australia 2025. The year Australian homes when electric solar quotes first announced during the election campaign. The federal battery rebate had its rules locked in after Labor was returned to power hot water heat. Australia Christmas 2025. Rooftop solar panels power Australian celebration. Solar quotes demand has been such that changes are being made to the battery rebate to ensure it can continue out to its intended finish in 2030. Top 5 heat pump. G14 United Kingdom RAWSEP View. What is to debate? Scientific evidence of air pollution that threatens lives and shortens lives needlessly in a modern world where all have access, often with subsidies, to clean energy for home heating and home cooking devices. Can you love your neighbor and continue to love wood burning stoves when you are presented with scientific evidence of harm? Not if you are of average intelligence and know when you have lost a debate from the standpoint of having no trace of compassion for your fellow man. The real question is whether politicians and community leaders have the bravery to act with regulations and bans to end costly, in both monetary and health terms, indoor residential wood burning in order to save lives of the people around them. From the article headline, from the London love of wood burning stoves sparks a pollution debate. Bloomberg.com. Once seen as a sustainable and charming upgrade, wood burning stoves are now under scrutiny for what they add to the polluted winter air of London. AI overview. The debate over wood burning stoves in London is a reflection of the ongoing struggle between tradition and environmental responsibility. While these stoves provide a cozy and efficient way to heat homes, their contribution to air pollution has led to a shift in public opinion. The government consideration of tightening standards on new stoves to meet pollution targets is a response to the growing concern over the health impacts of wood burning. Emissions activists have been vocal in their opposition, highlighting that wood burners release potentially carcinogenic particulates into the air. This debate highlights the tension between the desire for a traditional and comfortable home and the need to protect public health and the environment. United Kingdom RAWSEP View. This excerpt points out that wood burning is done by the affluent to the detriment of their lower income neighbors as well as themselves. Wood burning is done in the City of London, not in a rural area, where presumably the rural population is more savvy about unnecessary threats to their health and the health of their neighbors. From the article headline, "The London Love of Wood Burning Stoves Sparks a Pollution Debate." Bloomberg Law News. Wood burning stove, these squat metal burn boxes, have become a must-have for the London affluent city homeowners between 2009 and 2024. The number of United Kingdom staying at home could leave you exposed to indoor air pollution, study reveals. The Guardian. Each had a DEFRA-approved wood stove exempted for use in smoke control areas. We found that wood burning can trigger sharp spikes in indoor air pollution. Users could also consider not lighting their fires when children or people with health conditions are in the same room. Wood and coal burning can AI overview. A recent study by Dr. James Hayden and his team at the University of Nottingham has revealed that wood burning stoves are a major contributor to indoor pollution in UK homes. The study measured air pollution in 20 UK homes over 4 weeks each, with a wood stove approved by DEFRA for use in smoke control areas. The findings indicated that wood burning can cause significant spikes in indoor air pollution, especially during routine stove management activities such as lighting the stove, opening the door to refuel it, and tending to the fire. The campaign group Mums for Lungs found that around 15,000 complaints about smoke from wood fires lit by neighbors are made annually to local councils. United Kingdom Industry Insider exposes common misconception about emerging HVAC tech. The cool down, an HVAC expert from the UK, is using experiences of customers to set the record straight on heat pump misconceptions. G15 India. Chennai records lower PM 2.5 levels, but dust pollution remains a challenge. Finds report the Hindu. Several other locations in the city also reported PM 2.5 levels below 20 micrograms per cubic meter. India. How dirty air fuels depression. PM 2.5 components linked to higher mental health risk in older adults. Times of India. Breathing dirty air does more than just hurt your lungs, it seeps quietly into your mind, increasing the risk of depression in ways scientists are. India's secondary particulate matter is a core driver of dangerous PM 2.5 in India. Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air Kriya Air Quality Management in India has historically focused on PM 10 with limited attention to PM 2.5 and almost none to the secondary particulate. India. Sulfate ammonium carbon soil dust and PM 2.5 can raise depression risk. Study Greater Kashmir. PM 2.5 can raise depression risk. Study New Delhi December 25th. Long-term exposure to specific particulate. The Ranama Daily. PM 2.5 can raise depression risk. Study New Delhi December 25th. INS long-term exposure to specific particulate matter components such as PM 2.5. G16 Thailand. KKU Faculty of Nursing advises parents on coping with PM 2.5 dust. 5 techniques to particulate matter PM pollution, particularly harmful PM 2.5 dust, which poses a significant risk to the health of children. Konkane University.
Red-green fox here. The quick red-green fox jumped over the barriers to clean air. Red-green fox here. Ready to sing to you the names of the 2025 major wood-burning biomass industry subsidy opponents. 1. Biofuel Watch. 2. Bulkley Valley Stewardship Coalition of British Columbia, Canada. 3. Comite Schoen Lucht, which means Beautiful Air Committee in German. 4. Dogwood Alliance. 5. Equity Group Foundation, nicknamed EGF. 6. Environmental Paper Network, nicknamed EPN. 7. Natural Resources Defense Council, nicknamed NRDC. 8. Prakaunia Narzexwisistki Isted, which means Workshop for All Beings in Polish. 9. Rachel Carson Council. 10. Solutions for Our Climate, nicknamed SFOC.
Cat's corner strategy with Tiger and Leone. Saying the quiet part out loud. Roar. Hi, I am Tiger. Our human asked us to get up from our naps and start Cat's corner strategy with Tiger and Leone. She gave us a list of internet allies which we will post for her here.
Hi, I am Leone. It is better for your mental fitness to go to these websites than to go to bro sites for advice. Substack letters from an American Heather Cox Richardson. Substack your local epidemiologist. The Midas Touch. The Guardian. The New York Times.
One introduction. RAWSEP View. The United States government was on track in the Biden administration to reduce the prices for both clean energy heat pumps and clean energy electric cars. Trump tariffs are expected to upset those plans to prevent future air pollution and prevent climate change. The United States government should, instead of certifying wood stoves as safe when they are not safe, go forward with regulations that ban wood stove use and direct government money for use of forest refuse only for home building and furniture building. For just a few examples of use of forest products for non-burning uses, it is well known from scientific and medical research that wood burning is a substantial source of PM 2.5 emissions, yet the wood burning industry uses the scientifically debunked theory named carbon neutrality of wood burning to argue that wood burning replacing coal burning in industry, and in a trickle-down argument that wood burning should continue for home heating should continue. Presumably because it is called renewable, wood may be renewable in the sense that a tree can be planted in the place of a cut-down burned tree, but it takes centuries or decades for the newly planted tree to attain the stature of the cut-down burned tree. During those centuries or decades, photosynthesis, which converts CO2 to oxygen, and so sequesters some carbon, will not take place at the same rate as photosynthesis was performed previously, and wood burning emits both CO2 and PM 2.5, and PM 2.5 is not absorbed by trees, so PM 2.5 is not diminished by planting a tree in the place of a cut-down and burned tree. In fact, a living tree closes its pores against the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning, just as humans hold their breath in the presence of PM 2.5 from nearby wood burning. And when a tree closes its pores, the level of photosynthesis that absorbs CO2 pollution goes down. Wood burning emits 90% PM2.5 particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Contrary to many beliefs, wood burning emits 2.8 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel coal burning, and wood burning emits 450 times the PM2.5 as the fossil fuel natural gas burning. Replacing coal burning with wood burning creates more air pollution in the form of CO2 and PM2.5 than coal burning. This emission data comes from testing the cleanest burning wood stove in the United Kingdom, the Eco-Design Wood Stove. An international convention does not count the emissions from wood burning. The emissions from wood burning are erased from all countries around the world when calculating if each country has met its climate goals. This non-counting or erasure of wood burning emissions data from climate goals does not mean wood burning emissions do not exist. RAWSEP View purple air PM2.5 monitors hanging from the eaves of the house of a near neighbor should be used to measure the level of PM2.5 in the air hyperlocally in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. If PM2.5 levels exceed World Health Organization standards of 5 micrograms per cubic meter annually, then that evidence of air pollution from wood burning should lead to the shutdown of that indoor residential wood burning appliance, one appliance at a time if necessary.